most disgusting smelling fumes that you would ever imagine. And sometimes I wonder if that is what caused Caden's autism. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for a new video. If you're new, my name is May. So today I have a new autism talk for you guys, and I want to share with you all what scientists and researchers think causes autism. Now, I want to be very clear in this video. As of this day that I'm doing this video, January 2020, we don't know the exact cause of autism, but we do have a lot of people that are researching this condition and really trying to figure out what it could be, why is this happening to so many children. And the United States, it's an epidemic. Now, in some countries, which I've done some research on, their numbers are not as high, but then there are some places where their numbers are high. So we don't know what the cause is, but I want to share with you guys some of the things that they're suspecting, but not necessarily the answers that we need. And so let's just go ahead and get into the video. Now, the first thing that scientists think may cause autism is a bunch of genetic factors. And so when you hear them talking about genetic factors, they're talking about genetics and how much does genetics play a role in our children developing ASD. And so that's really what they're in the process of researching right now. And I want to talk with you guys. If you guys see me looking down, I am looking at my notes. There's a lot of stuff. I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I can. But the first one in terms of genetics is whether or not you have people in your family with ASD. And if you do, then most likely you will have a child that develops ASD, because the book states that ASD aggregates in families and the hereditary environment or whatever. So as you guys can see, they're really taking a closer look at that. So children born in families where a sibling already has ASD, then the risk increases. So an example, if my husband and I decide that we want to have another child, then most likely, or it's a possibility, that that child could very well develop ASD. And I'm not really concerned about it because I would like at least one more baby, and I'm not really worried about it. That's not going to stop me from not having another child. It just makes me more prepared. I feel like if I have another child with ASD, I would be so much more prepared than I was with Caden. And it also talks about first-degree relatives of people with ASD have an increased chance of having features of ASD. So I don't know if I talked about this or not, but Caden has an uncle, and he had a condition called Tourette's. Now, Tourette's is different from autism, but some of the signs and the symptoms are the same. And so it's very possible that Caden may have gotten a little bit of that from his uncle. And so, but according to that book and according to research, it's a possibility, right? It says ASD can occur in association with syndromes. So if you guys have ever heard of Fragile X syndrome, tuberous sclerosis, and Smith-Lemmy-Ops syndrome, then it's possible that ASD can originate if a person has that going on, but these conditions are rare. Next up is genetics of ASD is complicated. So when they start looking at the genetics, they're complicated, because if you guys took biology and science, you guys would know that some of that stuff can get really complicated once you get in depth with it. So I think that that's what that's referring to. And also, in most people with ASD, there is no identifiable genetic cause. So that would kind of explain why I've never had any genetic testing done on Caden, because I don't know if it would give me the answer that I need anyway. And then also, he would still have autism. So my main goal right now is to just get him the help that he needs. And then maybe later on, once I feel like he's in a place where I'm comfortable with and I can breathe, then we can look into all of that other stuff. But if you was to ask me would I be interested in genetic testing, sure, why not? Why not see what's going on? And in the future, I would like to get a MRI scan of Caden's brain just to compare his brain with an atypical child's brain, just to see if there's any differences or in the structures of his brain. Why not, right? And again, it's not going to cure his autism, but it'll definitely kind of give you an understanding of it. In addition, there's this word called de novo, which is a genetic mutation. It says underlie the development of ASD. So if that particular gene is present, then it's possible that your child will develop ASD. And this is presumably that you'll have this particular testing done on your child. Most of us don't even do any of that. Not to say we all don't. I'm just saying some of us don't. Most people do have genetic testing and stuff done on their children. And that's going to be me pretty soon. And then the last one is, it talks a lot about the age of the mother and the father at the time of conception of your child. And the older you are, it increases. So if you're an older parent and if you're an older person and you want to get pregnant, you want to have a child, then the chances of your child having ASD goes up. Now that's not to say that they will have ASD. Okay? It just says that it's a possibility. But again, the research is still ongoing. So all right, so that was under the genetic factors. So those are some of the things that researchers think causes autism, the genetic factors, okay? So moving on to the environmental factors. So when we talk about environmental factors, we're looking at things within the environment that may cause this autism, whether you're pregnant or whether you've already had your baby. So if we take a look at when you're pregnant, for an example, and say you're 3 months pregnant and you live around this chemical plant. And in fact, when I was pregnant with Caden, I lived around this plant and it gave off some of the most disgusting smelling fumes that you would ever imagine. And sometimes I wonder if that is what caused Caden's autism when we go to talking about environmental factors. And the smell it was like this gassy smell. And so is it possible? If we're talking about environmental, it could be, right? So it also can be, so if you are exposed to certain chemicals or pollutants in the air, then that could be a cause according to researchers. And the things that I'm going to list off now is after you have your child. So if your baby is born premature or prematurely, low birth rate, hypoxia, autoimmune disease, postnatal infections. I talked about advanced parental age, mercury and other environmental pollutants. So we got all this stuff going on that could be a possibility. Anyways, that is all that I have on my list. I hope you guys are still here. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. If y'all have any questions for me or you like to share your opinions on what you think causes autism, feel free to leave it down below. I would love to interact with you guys and get you guys' opinion on what you think may be the cause. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. So thank you guys for watching this video and I'll see you guys in my next one. Cheers! To me